Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer fair here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Thursday, the 20th of March.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
G'day, Matt Heath. Great to have you along this morning.
G'day, G Lane. G'day, everyone.
Hey, listen, you've walked into the studio. You're carrying a suit.
An olive.
I'd say that's olive. An olive suit jacket and grey pants.
That's Scotty J. Stevenson olive there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're right. He does.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Do you know why I know that? Because me and Scotty J. Stevenson were having a drink in Mount Eden, as he likes to drink there, and he was wearing that jacket. And after a few drinks, I was like, "Well, that's a nice jacket, Scotty. That's a nice jacket." And then I said, "Who made it?" And he goes, "What's it? Three
wise men."
Three wise men.
Yeah.
And I just got on and I went, I'm going to order myself the same jacket.
And you did it.
Yeah, and I did
at that moment.
Yeah, and then about a week later, there was a knock on the door. Courier delivered it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?
What the fuck?
Why is someone delivering me an olive jacket?"
Doing some drunk online shopping with Scotty J. Stevenson.
And then I looked at it and I was like, "That looks like Scotty J. Stevenson." Then it all came flooding back.
But what's more pressing for me is it looks like you're headed to some sort of event. Are you emceeing something, are you?
No. Yes. Okay, I'm cheating on you, G Lane. I'm cheating on you.
We had one and done.
One and done.
Like we would turn up, we never got invited back. We had a pretty good strike rate until the Apprentice of the Year Awards invited us back. But apart from that, every other gig we've did would never been invited back.
Yeah, that's 100% true. We don't often get invited back.
But I hear you've got someone off the bench who...
Yeah, that's right. Me and Grant Elliott.
The
Hairy Jav. Yeah. So the Hairy Jav and me are presenting the New Green 10th anniversary celebrations and an announcement of a new partnership with Live Ocean. And so hence the sort of greenish jacket. I think it's like a standard issue commentary one. So the Jav might end up in that because we have to wear green jackets. We might end up in matching jackets. And we always host in matching jackets, don't we, G-Lane?
Yeah, cute. It's real cute.
We need to get some more of those going. Because I tell you what, I've been hosting quite a few things by myself lately. It's so much work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Because normally when you and me do it, we sort of have a few jokes and then...
Throw each other under the bus.
Yeah, and then I send you out... Well, you send yourself out to the audience with a microphone to pest people.
Oh, my God. I nearly got killed that last time. And that massive dude, and I had to go at him about his man salmon floral shirt.
Oh, that's right.
And he did not find it funny. Because I was going around the tables going, "Here you go, look at that. Oh, look. That guy's got his head on upside down." And stuff like that. And
Well, so if you're needing anything MC'd, one and done, me and G Lane, we put on a good service.
Don't try and spruik us now. You've obviously hooked up with the Jav.
Well, you know that it's on Monday. It's 10 years since Stone to Elliott.
Oh, the 10-year Jav Day. It's known as Jav Day.
Yeah, Jav Day is the 24th of March.
Well, we should rewatch that. We should rewatch that whole last over.
Stone to Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't read about it.
Jav. Oh, so that's on Monday.
Dale Steyn. No, what does it go?
Steyn.
The Hairy Jav has pulled.
Done it for New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right. Pulled it over Long Island for 6. Yeah, you think I know.
But you did it in the grand final. Jav.
Yeah, so that is 10 years. How crazy is that?
Fucking hell, 10 years. Oh, okay, we'll have to do something. Maybe on Monday we'll rewatch that entire run chase. Would be quite good. Remember we rewatched the Lords one?
Oh,
was it me, you, and Wells sat down?
Yeah.
We rewatched the last over, and then we rewatched the Super Over.
Yeah.
Oh, I still thought we were going to win.
Yeah.
While rewatching it.
We kind of did win.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do the math.
But I was kind of going, go. Oh, we lost.
God, that takes me down.
I like to think that it was kind of cathartic in some way, but it wasn't.
Whenever I remember that semi-final in 2015, I remember me being there, but we weren't. We were in a bunker, miles away.
Miles away. And then we tried to go out and celebrate, remember? And it was like a Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Maybe a Tuesday night?
Yeah, and there was no booze anywhere.
No.
And we managed to buy the shittest bottle of champagne down Fort Street.
Trax Bar.
Yeah, Trax Bar.
Trax Bar was the only bar open, and I went in and asked for the two of the most expensive bottles of champagne you've got. And they pulled out these two disgusting looking things.
$15.95
each. Yeah. I think we had a glass each. We sprayed it everywhere. Had a glass each, and we went, all right, see you guys tomorrow.
And then went home and lay in bed like heart pounding.
Yeah.
And couldn't sleep. But that was a weird one, that one, because often with a one-day international, though, you've been drinking all day. So you've actually, and it was such an emotional roller coaster and the weather, so it was even longer than usual.
And it didn't finish till 11:30?
Yeah. It was a huge day in a bunker.
Yeah.
And
what
about the cowards?
Marys.
The cowards that wouldn't get on the microphone for the end. The only reason why I'm on the microphone for the last, the winning runs was because
everyone else had run.
Yeah, people were in shell shock, hiding in the corner. They couldn't watch.
Yeah. Was it me, you, and Hoyt?
Yeah, it was me, you, and Hoyt.
I didn't say anything. I was just like, that's me, and you.
I said, is he going to hit it for 6? Is that what Grant Elliott has to do? Does he have to hit it for 6?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
it was just stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
You want him to hit it for 6. And then he did, of course, but he didn't. Actually, it's not celebrated enough, Daniel Vettori chopping down and farting out that 4.
Oh, a wide Yorker.
Yeah.
A wide Yorker from Steyn, notoriously the hardest ball
Yeah.
to score runs off, and he clamped down, flew down to third man for 4, and then he ran the single. He got to talk to Vettori about it. He ran the single, and he went back out the pitch and said to Harry Jav, "I'm not moving from the non-strikers. This is
up to you.
This is up to you." He's like, "I'm not moving."
I was on the phone to the Jav last night, and we were talking about it and talking about what we're going to talk about at this thing tonight, because it is kind of a 10-year celebration of that moment. And I said, have you ever thought, what happens if Dale Steyn had pitched it in short and it was just a perfect delivery, just rising up, and there's nothing you can do with it? In your throat. And he goes, "Not really." No, not really.
Well, it's a bit like, it's a similar moment he had than Stephen Donald. Because you think about it, if Stephen Donald had missed that penalty and we'd lost the World Cup, would Stephen Donald be hosting a drive show on radio? Would he be Would he be
sliding doors moments, isn't it? And a wobbly old kick from Stephen Donald.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people forget this. It was nowhere near the end of the game. It wasn't even in the second half. So that was a belated payoff, that kick.
Yeah. So if he'd missed that, there would have been a change of government. There would have been rioting.
Yeah.
There would have been, all hell would have broken loose.
I tried to argue with someone over a few beers one night that I think that didn't go over.
Oh, yeah, that's the conspiracy. There's a great conspiracy theory.
There's an angle where it looks like it wobbled out the right side.
Yeah. There is. Maniah Stewart's a big one on that. He goes, didn't go over. It didn't go over.
I don't know if it did go over.
Yeah.
But as, Graham Henry says, and Graham Henry, look at that, knighthood.
Yes, well, that's what they do a lot of speaking engagements together, and they throw each other under the bus because he's like, Graham Henry back, "Stephen, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me getting that kick over. You did one thing, and now you've got a career of it." And he comes back with, "If I'd missed that penalty loss, you wouldn't have got a knighthood. You wouldn't be here either."
And then Graham Henry always says the same joke: "Smashed him by 1 point." Smashed him by 1 point. 1 point. So that is. Those are probably two of the two most significant, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Harry Jav and
Stephen Donald.
Yeah.
Hey,
I guess in England, Johnny Wilkinson and that.
Oh, the droppy. Yeah, but I don't know if that was seminal, because Australia were expected to win that. I guess it was an upset of sorts, that one.
Yeah. No, it was nothing like it.
Nah,
it was right out in front. Yeah. And it was easy.
Hey, have you read about this 15-year-old kid from Tauranga?
Yes.
Who's running 1,500 metres, or he's run a sub-minute mile, and a sub-minute 4-minute mile. He tied for the 1,500 metres national record. But he's only 15 years old. He's just the fastest 15-year-old over 1,500 metres in the world.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And he's just little old New Zealand.
But we're going back to, we've talked about athlete breeding programs.
Yeah.
His dad is a New Zealand record 400, 800 metre runner. And the mum is a national cross-country champion.
See,
this is what we need more of.
You should never, if you're a sporting person, be allowed to, because what happens often is, say, a successful sporting man will marry just a super hottie that's uncoordinated but really hot.
Correct.
And as a result, the genes get diluted.
You just have to watch Full Swing on Netflix. Watch the golf doco. That's a case in point.
Yeah.
Athletes great at golf, just not marrying right in terms of gene pool.
Yeah, right, yeah. So we really need to pass some kind of, or bring a members bill into Parliament that elite athletes have to only have sex with other elite athletes, or give up a certain amount of their DNA, their seed to be mixed as the government chooses.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So there you go. So
because of what have we got any supplies of Stephen Adams anywhere? Because what if he marries a 5'1"?
Oh no, hottie.
Instagram hottie, because she looks good in a bikini, but
that's a disaster.
That's
a total disaster.
Yeah.
She looks good in a bikini. So 15, here comes the 49th New Zealander to break the milestone target of doing a 4-minute mile. And Olympian Sam Tanner helped him through it. He's broken the 4-minute mile before, but he helped him get over the line, similar to how Joe Jury got you over the line in Queenstown.
And then died?
Tanner didn't die this time, but Joe almost did. What were you doing when you were 15, Matt?
Jesus, not a lot. I'd have been really focused on trying to get my driver's license. I think that was the main goal that year. And sort
of 15. Could you get your driver's license at 15?
You could start.
Yeah, right.
You could start.
You get your learners.
Yeah, you get your learners. So that was a big focus.
Yeah.
Maybe the only focus, actually. Sitting in my room, learning metal licks, learning Iron Maiden songs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of zits.
So you were popping zits and getting drivers...
Trying to get a girl, Jenny, to go on dates with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
But I wasn't moving fast. It's moving very slowly.
Well,
all three of those things, I was moving very slowly.
You weren't moving as fast as Sam Ruth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I've got a 15-year-old. He's not very fast.
Good rower, though. That's the
other one. The other one, the youngest one got the school rowing trophy last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with a bit of cricket action. The third T20 kicks off on Friday night, so we'll be back in a sec. Matt, how much do Pakistan suck?
So much. I'm just trying to work out exactly how much they suck. I mean, we did beat them over there, and then sort of come back here and not recognise any of their players, and then...
No Mohammad Rizwan, no Fakhar Zaman, no Babar Azam.
Oh, what are they doing? Why don't they want to come down here?
I don't know. I think they wanted to. I think the selectors chose to rest them or something. They didn't. Right. They wanted. I don't think they've said they're not going. But how's the dynamic duo of Muhammad Ali and Rolf Harris, the seam bowlers?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali's not as impressive as his name would suggest.
No.
He sort of floats like a butterfly more than stings like a bee.
Yeah, and the ball kind of he looks very clubby.
Yeah.
He got a great set of hair from on the front, but then the cameraman did him a dirty by doing an aerial shot from behind.
Yeah.
And he's full dug the rug.
Yeah, he needs to talk to advanced hair.
Yeah. But yeah, Muhammad Ali's probably the highlight of that. But the video, I don't know, did you see the video of Shut Up Khan trolling those Dunedin kids when the ball went over the boundary road and he picked it up like he was going to give it to them and then he went, nah, and took it away? Did you see that?
Yeah, so I was trying to think, what is he doing there? Was it just a little joke or was he just being mean?
Nah, I think he had a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you can't keep the cricket ball.
Yeah, but I think you should.
You should.
And at T20, who gives a shit?
If it's a 6.
Yeah.
This was just a 4 and the kids
but
anyway,
if it's a 6, you should be able to keep the ball.
We've posted it on and it's got millions of views.
Oh, wow.
Now, most of the comments and views are coming from, take a guess, which country?
India.
Yes. And they're not happy.
Yeah.
They're not happy with Shut Up Khan.
They're taking a dim view on the actions of a Pakistani.
Basically.
Big surprise.
Basically, they're just tailing in on poor Shut Up Khan, who was just having a laugh with a couple of punishing little Dunedin kids who wanted to steal the ball. Yeah. And now he's got the whole nation of India in behind poor Shut Up Khan. Poor guy. So we got coverage of that third T20 is 7 p.m. Friday night on iHeartradio. Thanks to the legends at Max Raft. There's a bit of a double up that day because we've also got Super Rugby that night. We've got Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs. So we're on 2 channels.
So
2 channels.
Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and Pookie.
Yeah. Because I've been loving Moana Pacifica this season, just in terms of the go forward, the go get it.
They've always been a good team to watch because they just absolutely go for it.
But I feel like now, because the rules have somehow made defence harder, not exactly sure why. I think it's maybe because forwards are getting more shagged because they can't just take a knee and fake injuries.
A lot more turnovers as well.
And there's a lot more turnovers. and things are just moving a lot faster because the halfback isn't getting pestered as much.
And the ref's like, get the water guy off.
Yeah, get the water guy off.
Come on.
So I think teams that are just all attack have a slight advantage.
Yeah, like the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Chiefs, Moana Pacifica, Fiji.
God, the games have been close though.
Oh, they've been great. They've been great. Just people have just got to get off their butts and go to the games.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Well, apparently ratings are up
Yeah. Well, of course they are.
because people are watching
Good
at home.
games. You can sit at home, crush beers, and watch the game yourself.
Yeah.
And listen to the ACC.
But yeah, people aren't going. But games being lost by conversion.
Yeah.
Oh,
That poor Auckland Blues.
yeah.
Second five. Jeez. That was rough on that Chiefs game.
Yeah.
But in the NBA, there's a player called Grady Dick.
Oh yeah, nice.
Have you heard of Grady Dick?
No, I haven't heard of Grady Dick.
Well, Grady Dick is causing major issues in the NBA, mainly due to the commentators, if you have a listen to this.
This is Dick trying to penetrate inside. They try to go backdoor with Dick. Dick hard charging to the cup. Dick is going to score.
Dick was coming wide open back door.
Dick couldn't hit it.
Dick goes down.
Dick rises up. Dick goes down.
Mobile in, Dick is out.
Dick struggling big time tonight.
Grady Dick's third bucket of the game brings it back to 19.
Let's just call him Grady. Let's just call him Grady for the rest of the game.
Number 4, Grady. I'm not going to read his last name.
Hey, this boy balling right here, y'all. I think we pointed that out, Grady Dick. I can't say his name.
That's so good.
So
Dick
we can just call him
penetrating.
Grady.
So there hasn't been a name as good as since that Liverpool goalie called Seaman.
Oh, yeah, David Seaman.
David Seaman, the greatest line, Seaman dribbling out of the box.
Yeah.
Seaman dribbling out of the box, then a bit of a gap when we realised what he said.
Yeah, well, there was the other one with, was it Willie? Oh, who was it, Willie to hold? Willie's the bowler, Holding's the bowler, Willie's the batsman. Oh, something like Willie is holding the batsman's Willie. Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's holding, I don't know. Yeah, I've messed that one up. But
Well, there was Murray Mextiad, famous one, but this isn't anything to do with the names. He's been coming inside Mertens all night.
Oh, yeah. Is it? Oh, Holden's the bowler, batsman's the Willie or something? Ah, fuck, I fucked that up. But yeah, that one's a great one, that Mertens one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's great. So do you think these are all accidental, or do you think some of the commentators are leaning into it?
I'm fucking leaning into it, 100. Like, you don't have to mention Dick is penetrating the back door.
Dick is rising up.
Dick is rising up.
But
Dick, I love the one that Dick's not working tonight. Where it's like, yeah. Dick's not really working tonight.
That's immature. You would never see the ACC slipping to those kind of...
Grow up.
Those kind of single entendres.
Yeah, totally like, shut up, Khan.
Yeah.
Shut up, Khan's my favourite.
Yeah. Well,
Shut up.
Fuck is a man.
Yeah, fuck is a man. Fuck is a man also.
The mother.
The motherfucker Tava. Yeah, just keep them coming. The Auckland Council, have you seen the Auckland FC? They're quite good, Auckland FC. They're good at drumming up headlines by getting Stephen Adams to put a press release out saying, yeah, I'm in support of this stadium.
Yeah.
So it's Western Springs. So obviously they've managed to manoeuvre Speedway out of Western Springs. So it's ripe for the taking. And you've got Big Bill Foley. You've got the Mowbrays. You've got the Zuru Plastic Merchants. You've got Ali Williams in the middle of it.
Yeah, some big names.
Big names. And then you've got Stephen Adams coming along, and they want to build this basically a sporting precinct within Western Springs, which would incorporate, I think, about a 12,500 seater stadium for Auckland FC, which I think is a great idea. Basketball courts.
Would they allow it for it can't just be for Auckland FC. Would they have rugby in there?
Yeah, I think it's I don't think they'd have rugby in there.
Right.
I think this is purely a football. It would be a high performance where that's academy where they would train and everything. But they also look to turn it into hospitality concourse.
So they would always be sold out, wouldn't it? Because they're selling out 20,000 people have to go out punishing Penrose.
Well, isn't that what you want? Isn't that? I mean, the season ticket holders will be like rare. It'd be like it's like trying to get a ticket to Man United or whatever, or Chelsea, or whatever. It's pretty impossible.
But who has to pay for this?
Well, this is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that the billionaire backers, are all going to pay for it.
Well, if the billionaire backers are going to pay for it, then because that's we've talked about this before on this podcast. You need billionaires in sport.
Totally.
Otherwise, nothing happens.
Yeah, you need Saudis and billionaires.
Yeah.
To come along and wave their dicks around.
But I mean, how much? Doesn't it cost about 600 million? Like, you could not be a billionaire anymore with how much it costs to build something like this.
That's true. That is true. But I think you'd get finance and stuff. I don't think they'd fund it completely themselves because it's on Auckland Council property. But I'm really getting sick of talking about Auckland's stadium issues.
Yeah.
I just want someone like Bill Foley to come along and just build it.
Well, the problem with councils is they're full of absolute fucking muppets.
They're the worst of us.
They're absolute muppets because no one knows who they're voting for. Like, have you ever tried to look through the pamphlet to decide if you ever actually on the 1 in 1,000 people that actually decide to vote, and mail it in? And good luck finding anywhere you can put a letter these days.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the mail at right. Like, where do you put it? There's not a, you have to drive 400 miles to find a post office to post it. But then you look through and it's like, who the fuck's that?
Yeah.
And then, read a little blurb about them and you're like, I don't know. And then they get in and they're an absolute insane person that, because I was talking to someone on the sideline of my son's cricket game who was trying to get these stadiums done. And this was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he said there's just so much hatred in the Auckland Council for cricket because they think it's an elitist sport. So he was saying he was trying to get things across the line and it was just people going, no, why would we spend any money on cricket? Why would we spend
it on the arts instead?
Yeah, why would we spend any money on sport? Sport can pay for itself. They're just these people that no one really voted for that have these really extreme opinions. So it's bloody tough. Bloody tough to get anything done through the council. So you do need someone to come in from over the top.
Yeah.
And pump some money in. Why don't they? But I still think they should do what Eden Park wants to do, though, and put a 12,000-seater rugby stadium in the outer oval.
Out the back.
Yeah, because that's what you need. Because as soon as games get packed, they look better on TV, and they're more fun to go to.
So much more fun. It's like the Basin Reserve theory. The Basin Reserve with 10,000 people in it is remarkably better experience than the Cake Tin with 10,000 people at the cricket. It looks terrible.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
But that's because we're not a huge country.
Yeah.
So huge countries have huge stadiums.
Lords is only 24,000.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah.
Biggest fans of cricket in the world. And they're
Well, look at Old Trafford, even though they're knocking down Old Trafford. That's only, how much is that? That's like
50 or 60. Like they're not huge.
They're not huge, yeah. And we're a tiny population. So we need it's not actually that people aren't going to Super Rugby. It's just they're in massive stadiums.
Yeah.
Because I went to see the Brumbies Blues the other day.
Yeah.
And there was 9,000 people there, 10,000 people. You put that in a 12,000-seater stadium, A, you'll get 12,000 people because people will want to, be around other people so it'll get its own energy. But B, even with 10,000 people, look great.
Yeah, there's an issue. I heard there's a bit of an issue because they wanted to. This is the rumor I heard. They wanted to take some of these Super Rugby games because you remember the Blues didn't confirm they were playing at Eden Park for ages because they were investigating playing at like Oniwa Domain or playing up in like Whangarei or whatever in smaller stadiums. So they had the idea, but apparently the pushback came from broadcast, and in terms of it's harder to actually cover the game when you're doing it from stadium that's not built or designed to broadcast from. So I think there's a few issues.
That's the whole freaking thing. The whole thing is based around broadcast.
Yeah.
And now the broadcasters like Sky are saying we don't want to pay as much money as we did.
Yeah, or we don't want to cover NPC.
Yeah. Yeah. So
either.
Yeah, so we don't cover NPC. We don't want to pay as much money as we've got for it. And yet we have just completely destroyed the sport for them.
Yeah.
So we've moved it out of the afternoon games.
No afternoon games because there's no audience.
To watch it. And then the game slowly dies. And then they go, oh, we don't want to cover NPC anymore. We don't want to.
And we're not going to pay as much.
We're not going to pay as much. And it's like, well, we fucking moved the whole thing for your ratings. And now that it looks shit on TV and it's losing its cool.
It's so sad, isn't it? Watching, like, we put up a highlights reel of Jeff Wilson's chip and chase. Yeah. He was the king of chip and chases. Like, when he was playing for the Highlanders, Jeff Wilson used to chip and chase everything and regather and score.
And in a big, soggy old Canterbury shirt.
Yeah. And the crowds were insane.
Yeah.
It was like down in Carisbrook. Yeah. And it was just madness.
I was at a lot of those games.
Yeah. It makes me sad looking at that going, fuck.
We'd boo anyone from Auckland.
Yeah.
Even if they were an All Black.
I remember Grant Fox being booed when he was kicking a conversion from the sideline at Lancaster Park in Canterbury. He getting booed. He's like, he's playing for the fucking All Blacks. Jesus Christ. Oh, Mark Carter. He used to wind up fucking anyone south of the Bombays. Fuck, everyone hated Mark Carter.
The thing with, it's so different. Like, I went to the Warriors last weekend and the game was on at 8 o'clock at night, right? That you see just everywhere around me in our area, there was kids asleep on their parents' laps because
it's too late.
It's too late,
way too late.
And I know that's it's challenging for the Warriors because of course the Australian time zones and all that kind of stuff. But fucking hell, like you can't fill stadiums if people can't take their kids and they have to get a babysitter and it's a family game as well. You know?
I left at half time at a Warriors game because of that reason. It was too late, and I had my 2 boys with me, and Mike Minogue spotted me leaving. Fucking hell! He stood up at the back of the stand. He was like, "Where you going? G Lane's leaving. You're not a Warriors fan." Boo! And my kid's like, "What's that man saying?" I was like, just keep going, let's go. I'll buy you ice cream on the way home. Come on, let's go. So, yeah, it's a little, I don't take my kids to any of the Super Rugby games in the evenings because, again, it's just too late. By the time you come home, by the time you're dealing with traffic and everything else, it's far too late.
And we've talked about this a million times. If kids don't go when they're young, then they don't go when they're older because it's not something they do.
They love it when they go.
Yeah.
Went to a couple, I think the best game they ever went to was that first ever game after COVID where they allowed everyone into Eden Park, and it was Hurricanes versus the Blues. Yeah. And they had 45,000 people at Eden Park. That was mean. They had a flyover from the fucking Air Force. I
wonder if New Zealand Rugby said to the other wounders that are looking at it, I'm not sure if that's still happening, is it?
What's that? The
Zone.
Oh, yeah, DAZN.
Zone and maybe TVNZ. There was some kind of rumours about that. But just say to them, look, less money for you, but games in the afternoon. And then more money would be made from tickets. Yeah,
because I was wondering whether something like DAZN. DAZN that's a completely different player than what Spark Sport was. Spark Sport didn't exist.
Yeah,
almost when they won the rugby rights and for the World Cup, and then they won the cricket rights. DAZN is actually a global platform.
Yeah,
already. It's like Netflix.
I was watching my NFL on there for a long time.
So it's a different player altogether, and it's whether they would make more of their money with the All Blacks and Super Rugby rights with overseas subscribers already, given their footprint they've got. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't matter that the games were at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, right.
Because with Sky, it's very much focused on the commercial return and the audience numbers. That's why the games are at 7 o'clock, not 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but do they even make any money from the sponsors, Sky? I'm always wondering about that.
Well, I guess it's the advertisers, sponsors. I don't know. That's where the audience is.
If you don't. But if you like rugby and you're playing for Sky Sport, then, I mean, there's so many games I don't watch anyway because they're not at the right time.
Yeah.
But I fucking love watching, pardon my French, I'm allowed to swear, I know.
How dare you?
Someone swore on my News Talk ZB show yesterday. It was quite funny.
How dare they?
I've got the dump button, and so everyone was panicking for me to press the dump button, and I was like, because it's an 8-second delay, and I was like, and I let it.
Fuck you, Ed.
I let it hang out. Anyway, that's a different issue. But
I'm surprised you run the dump button. I mean, Murray Deaker, he was a huge fan of no dump button for him. Hence, he got called a ball cunt several times.
I prefer to raw dog it myself.
Yeah.
I've raw dogged for years on Hauraki. Anyone's going to be able to run through and say anything.
Totally.
But we're not allowed to raw dog it, but especially now that I let that one through. But anyway, what was I saying?
Who are you in charge of the dump button? Have you got a? Is it a big red button?
There is a big red button in one of the studios. Mine's just a little green one.
It says dump.
Yeah. Dump. I've been on the man shake lately, so I've been fucking dumping up a storm.
Oh, protein?
Yeah.
Real thick stools?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what I was saying now. I was saying, you're watching rugby at home in the afternoon as well.
Sun's out.
So I miss games, and if you miss games, it doesn't mean that you cancel Sky.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I watch some games. But my problem is when you put things on too many apps, you just stop. Like when cricket was on Spark, I was just never there, so I never... I just want to watch. If I'm walking past the TV and some cricket on, I'll probably end up sitting down watching it. Right?
Yeah,
and that's what it used to be like for years with the Sky Box.
Yeah,
because it would just be on.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but maybe the government needs to just pony up and buy the rights and put rugby on prime time on TVNZ because TVNZ's got nothing else. No one watches any of their shows.
Totally.
But they will watch as soon as you put live sport on, like the cricket.
Yeah. Well, look at the Blacklash. Yeah.
Then people will watch it.
People are thirsty for it.
Yeah. So if you put free games on a Sunday afternoon on TVNZ rugby, you would change the culture of this country.
Old school. It'd be old Saturday
school. And Sunday. Yeah. You would change the culture of this country. People would be going along. They'll be watching. It'd be fantastic. Anyway.
Now here's a piece of audio from Lee Hart. So a Bulgarian football side has apologised to a former player after holding a minute's silence in honour of his death, only to realise during the match he was still alive. Aga Kazali mourned former player Petko Kanchev over the weekend with a minute's silence while both players from both sides lined up on the centre line. Before the match, the club's official Facebook page revealed that Gunchev was still alive.
See, that's, shoddy admin, and you've made a mistake there. And you saw in the Oscars they forgot a couple of people that had died.
Yeah, but they forgot who people died. I can understand because a lot of people...
But to get around the other way. But I was thinking this is pretty good, though, to be alive to see a minute of silence. At least you know that you are of meaning to people.
True. That is.
It's kind of like going to your own funeral.
Yeah.
You go, you know what, people
actually like me.
Because you know the guy, Nobel, who has the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah.
So he actually was a, dynamite salesperson. Yeah. And when they thought he had died, he was on some safari and they thought he died, and then he read the newspaper and it said they called him Merchant of Death passes. And so he read it and went, oh shit, everyone thinks I'm just a
Merchant of Death.
Yeah. So he invented the Nobel Peace Prize to try and get his name remembered as peace.
Oh.
So complete whitewash of his career of blowing people up.
Basically, the Nobel Peace Prize is just one big PR.
Yeah, it's
PR.
It was the first, whitewash.
Whitewash investigation.
Whitewash investigation was their first big case.
I tell you what, whitewash, they won't be getting their monthly instalment from the Warriors with regards to their assistant coach grabbing the throat of some journo in Vegas.
Yeah. How's that developed?
Yeah, well, he's been given a 3-match ban and fined 10 grand Australian. So Whitewash have had a shocker there. They haven't found a big enough dead fish to slap on the table to take away any sort of headlines.
How do you enforce a 3-match ban on an assistant coach?
You're just not allowed to go to the game, I guess. He's like,
do they come and check? Are you coaching?
Yeah.
Have you been coaching?
I think
no coaching.
I think he's not allowed in the box, or I don't think he's allowed at the game.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
he's turning up with a moustache and doing a bit of coaching. Because you can't
moustache and the glasses.
If you've been red carded for a few games, stood down, you can't just come on the field with a fake moustache and some sunglasses, but people will go, hang on a minute, that's Artie Severe.
Have you watched that Netflix doco about the guy that was reading the calls in college football?
Oh, right.
Have you seen that?
No.
And he gets banned and he comes back like that. He had a wig, a hat, and a moustache, and he was on the sideline and he's like reading the calls again. Fucking funny. He looked like Groucho Marx.
They're like, is that? Oh, so of course, Hoskins Satutu's not playing this week. He's been steered down because of a red card.
Yeah.
We've got a new player, Satutu Hosky Weinema. He comes out with a fake moustache and a big
wig.
You couldn't do that. But you could do it as the assistant coach.
Yeah,
you've just got like a hoodie up. You've got a tracksuit pants on.
Because if you gave me a lineup of the assistant coaches of the Warriors, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't pick out.
If you gave the NRL judiciary a lineup of the assistant coaches for the Warriors,
Stacey Jones is about the only one you go. Oh, it's Stacey Jones. Yeah. He's the only one that I know from the backroom
So
staff.
if you're listening, head down to Juice Emporium, get yourself a fake moustache.
Speaking of which, we've seen the odds kind of start creeping down for the Warriors to win the grand final this year. So we've jumped on it quickly. $34 they're paying at the moment to win the grand final. NRL, so we've chucked a $100 bonus bet on that for the agenda bet. So that'll return us, $3,500. It's optimistic, but the odds were too good to not have a flutter at.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be back with a few yours pleases.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
The batsman's holding the bowler's willy. That is the line that the commentators did for...
The batsman's holding the bowler's willy.
So it was Michael holding batty and Willie was... Yeah, that was the line that I had to get... That I butchered at the start of this podcast.
That is the best thing ever.
Yeah, that is the best thing. Anyway, it's your last chance to win $5,000 cash with Leader Toppers Top Up. Simply head to Pack and Save or New World, buy a tray of Leader Toppers, scan the QR code and be in to win. It's got the ACC logo on it. So you can smash lasagna toppers while you enter your details. And $5,000 cash. Only a few days left on that, so make sure you get into the draw of that. But here's the first of, I think, 4 yours pleases today. Yours please.
G'day, fellas. There's a bit of a whisper around that ODIs might be dying. T20's taking over. As much as the double headers, in this case with the White Ferns and the Black Caps are great, I think we do need a longer game because we can't always have companion tours. So what about 30 overs a side, and a compulsory declaration. That's it. You go for it.
Interesting. I don't know if one-day cricket is going to die, because I love one-day cricket, because one-day cricket is like a test match in one day. Because the ebbs and flows of a one-day game is so much better. I prefer it to the T20, because T20s you can lose it in a couple of overs or whatever, whereas in a one-day you could be 22 for 5, crawl back to 230 all out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's going to die completely, but I hope not anyway.
How would 30 overs and what do you mean compulsory declaration?
I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. Like 30 overs is just a midway. Or is it a test match?
I've long campaigned for some kind of version of max cricket where you have 2 innings of 20 overs.
Yeah, like a mini test match.
It's a mini test match.
Yeah.
So it happens in slightly less time than mind you, by the time you have innings breaks, probably about the same length of time as an ODI.
Yeah.
But, you get 2 chances at it. So if Kane Williamson goes out, you see him again.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that would be cool. That would be a great version of the game.
Yeah, like a T20 test.
Yeah. But someone would then immediately go, because people are such fuckwits, there'd be then the 10 over version of it.
Yeah.
So, and then there'd be someone will go like the 50 ball version of it.
Hey, the T1 idea we have.
Yeah.
We've worked out, because in Sunday it got reduced, or not Sunday, Tuesday it got reduced to 15. And we were calling it a T15.
Yeah.
And someone texted and goes, "You fucking idiots, it's not T15. If it's 15 overs the size, it's F15. It's 15-15. 2020.
Yeah.
So I think our T1, and they said also your T1 idea doesn't work either, because it's not 21.
No, but it was team of one.
Team of one. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so it's sort of it was reminiscent of the T20 in sound, but it was T1, team one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, no, he's ruined our T1 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now we
so the team of one over.
One over, one ball.
Well, we were deciding whether it was 1 over or 1 ball. I like 1 ball.
1 ball.
One bowl. There's one person in your team. You bowl 1 ball, you face 1 ball.
World Cup in an afternoon.
Yeah. We really need to get that going. Would a billionaire come in and build a purpose-built stadium for that?
Would a Saudi come in and just fucking fund that, would they?
T1. Well, fucking hell, I spent about an hour watching people playing fake video game golf yesterday.
Oh, fuck, that's tough.
That is a tough watch.
That's a tough watch, yeah.
They built a whole stadium for it.
It's the PGA trying to be cool. It's not good.
Because I just go immediately. It's the same thing I always do with ball tracking. I go, that bullshit. That didn't land. Who knows?
Yeah, and they hit it into a screen and they spin around and there's some fucking mad-ass green that changes. It's got like 200 different little things on it that changes the camber of the green. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah, I'm not liking it. But did you see Happy Gilmore 2's coming out?
Well, when's that coming out?
Coming out in like August or July or something.
That's great. I can't wait for that, because I introduced my kids to Happy Gilmore over the holidays, and they fucking loved. They thought it was fucking hilarious.
There's a good joke, so screw it up. But there was a good joke in it when he's playing that game and he smashes the ball right through the screen.
Oh, that's quite
leaves
good.
a big hole.
Puts
a big hole in it.
That's quite good. Okay, next one, yours, please.
Why do you refer to Tim Southey as the Mangroves?
Uncontrollable routing system?
Yeah. Next one, yours, please.
Hey, fellas. You really missed a trick not talking about Stuart McGill becoming a drug dealer and getting kidnapped and all that. I thought that was some perfect sports-adjacent ACC content. Anyway, hooroo.
That's a good point. I might put that on the agenda for tomorrow. But Stuart McGill, a man that was in the shadow of Shane Warne, he probably would have been in that test side for about 10 years.
He's basically a metaphor, an example of being so good in the wrong area.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I was worried that Matt Henry would be that.
Yeah.
Too good in the wrong area and never got in, but now he's got his time in the sun.
Yeah. So yes, Stuart McGill, and it's a long and convoluted story, which we'll attack tomorrow, about the background of that and his drug dealer and his brother-in-law and a restaurant and his kidnapping, and he got tortured. It's
rough.
It is rough. It's a very big fall from grace for Stuart McGill. But maybe we'll discuss that tomorrow. Next one, yours, please. One more.
Good morning, team.
Morning.
G Lane, if you want more talkbacks, why don't you offer a prize for Talkback of the Week?
Okay.
I'm sure you've got random merch laying around that you'd want to get rid of. Give people an incentive. give people the courage to call through.
Yep.
And I'm sure you'll get a hell of a lot more.
Oh, that's good.
This is community-driven content, so you probably should be giving back to us, Cheers. Love yous, fuck yous.
Love you, fuck you. I'm on two minds on that. It's like, greedy. Just send a talkback in for the...
Yeah. I was thinking that. Otherwise, we might get the wrong type of talkbacks.
You just get prize pig talkbacks.
Yeah.
And they'll be coming going, love you, fuck yeah, where's my prize?
Yeah.
Love you, fuck you.
Love you, fuck yous, where's my prize? Fuck South Canterbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might get whereas the current crop of talkback is a pretty high level.
That is good. I mean, we got a bit of feedback there around what topics we should do.
I guess no. That's silly of me because if we pick the best one, then there is an incentive for people to be
good, be better. Yeah, that's true. Well, looking around the studio, maybe we could probably hook you up with a backyard cricket set or a hip flask or a Kieran Reid signed box. Yeah, Brendan McCullum signed box.
Yeah,
ACC book or something.
A Brian Waddle mask. They didn't take
Priceless.
off, did they?
No, they didn't. No one wanted to look like Brian Waddle.
I don't think anyone knew who he was. That was the problem. So they had this plan to promote Brian Waddle.
Well, they did it for Brian Waddle.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did it for Brian Waddle. Anyway. Man, look, we could look at maybe doing some incentives, but thanks for your feedback.
Should we send out that Brian Waddle mask for the worst talkback?
Yeah, that's actually probably good. We should punish the worst ones. But thanks very much. We'll be back tomorrow with James McConey for a Super Rugby special and a deep dive on Stuart McGill. We'll catch you later.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.